I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you don't need to reinvent the assessment wheel. You can just copy it, which teachers are really great at doing anyway, right? So just a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Marsha McGuire, and I'm from Cadillac, Michigan. Really small town in northern Michigan, but not the UP, so it's just northern lower Michigan. And I am the mother of boys, Mikhail, McCoy, and McGill, and that's also my husband, Mike. So we're just a little bit Irish with all the names. My dentist tells me there's a special place in heaven for mothers of 3 boys, so I think between that and being a kindergarten teacher, I'm pretty much set. If you'd like to get a hold of me afterwards, I also put down my contact information there so you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Or if you have any questions, you can also just contact me at my blog, which is Differentiated Kindergarten. I've been teaching kindergarten for about 10 years, and I've been teaching probably for 13, 14 years. So, but kindergarten is where my heart is. So I wonder, is assessing got you feeling like this ever? Because this is what I always feel like my kids feel like when I give them a piece of paper and expect them to tell me what they know. And the frustrating thing is, at the beginning of the year when you have kinders, not all of them even know how to write. So to give them a paper pencil test and expect that to be a good demonstration of what they know isn't always a great fit. So if at all possible, I want to take and find activities where I can do some assessing while they're also engaged in an activity. So today what I thought I would do is just give you a couple of math activities that you can do that you can check for great counting and number recognition, and then kind of show you how you can find assessments on ESGI that can help you with your planning and assessing as well. So one of the first things that you can do is this really simple game, and it's called Start Your Engines, but it's really just a hide and seek game. So what we do is we put numbers depending on where that child's at. Maybe it's only 0 to 10, or maybe it's 0 to 20. At the beginning of the year, I would put 0 to 10. And they play this game, and I put it in a pocket chart. One of those really cheap pocket charts from Target. They're only $1, but they're really pretty. So I put those up, and I put the numbers in, and a little game card is hidden behind those. So while that is being hidden, the students turn their back, so they can't sneaky peek spy, because you know they're going to sneaky peek spy because they want to win. So I'm like, no sneaky peeky spying. And then they turn around and they try to guess where it's hidden. So they can't just point and say this card. They have to actually say the number. So it's great for number recognition. So here you can see it was hidden behind the 17. Super simple, super fast. Your kids love this game. And the fun thing about this game is that you can do it with all kinds of skills. I can put 10 frames up there. I can put talls and smalls, 10s and 1s. So we use it for lots of different activities. Using those same cards, you can also punch holes in the sides of them if you want. And anybody have those plastic clips in their classroom, and you never know what am I going to do with these clips? Those linking clips? Well, we use them to do number order. So you can hand your students as many numbers as you'd like them to work with, 0 to 10. If that's too easy for them, give them 0 to 20, give them 0 to 50. At one point in the year, my students will do 0 to 100. On 100th day, this is the activity we do. So they can clip those numbers together in order, and it gives you a quick assessment about counting. So they just keep adding on and adding on. It's super simple to make. You just print off the cards, cut them apart, and hole punch them. Super simple. With those same cards, I add a couple of other cards, and we play a game that's called Race to the Finish. It's really just number recognition and numbers not in order. So the kids randomly pick a card. If they say the number correctly, then they're going to be able to keep the card. But if they don't say it correctly, it goes back in the bin. Of course, you're going to have those kids that always win, right? Those are the kids that know everything. So I always put some fail-safes in there so that they aren't always the winner. So there might be one that, this one says, you are so fast, you get to pass everyone and take a card from each player. So that helps those kids that might not always win. And there's other ones that you have to put all your cards back in. So it just kind of evens the playing field for them. But while they're doing that, of course, you're assessing and figuring out what numbers they do and do not know. We can also use those same cards and do memory. Super simple game. Everybody knows how to play it. Kids love it. And it's a great way to assess them while they're playing. So you have all these activities. And while they're doing those activities, what I'm doing is making a note of it. Where are they? Especially in the beginning of the year when I'm not really sure what everybody knows. So I take a good look I can get all my information. I'm constantly walking around with either my iPhone or my iPad and making notes, so that at the end, what I can do is I can get a quick snapshot of my kids. I can kind of see, if, for instance, this is for shapes. I can take a good look and see, oh, look at, they're missing hexagon as their shapes, but they have a pretty good handle on these other shapes. So depending on what criteria you're looking for, I think when I use my ESGI and I'm assessing while they're playing, I can get a good handle of what I'm missing. Like, oh gosh, I really did not teach hexagons very well. I need to go back and teach that. That makes it great for planning, because you know that you're always going to be assessing and adjusting and reinstructing, just like I said. So obviously, I took the assessment, I saw that they were not learning hexagon, I needed to adjust my instruction and reassess. I just cycle, and it just keeps going and going. And if you keep doing that, then it makes planning so much easier for you. So from the information I get, I can tier those same activities and say, okay, so tier 1 really needs numbers 0 to 30. Tier 2 would use numbers 0 to 20. Tier 3 would do 0 to 10. Those are those same 4 activities. There's so many assessments, though. How do you find the time to do them all? And for me, I have that same problem too, because I like the flexibility of ESGI because I can get a picture of what my kids know instantly, but yet my own district had requirements that we needed to have common assessments, right? And I'm sure many of you do too. And those were paper pencil. And we got together as a group, our kindergarten group, and we said, you know, those paper pencil assessments just aren't giving us a true picture of where the kids know, because they may know their numbers, but they can't write them. Or they can't draw a circle. They don't know what a circle is. Or they can't underline, you know, an answer. So we decided that we were going to look on ESGI and see what kind of assessments were available for us for those same kind of standards we needed to assess paper pencil. And we found some that were already written, which is great, because then you can just take those, right? But there's some that are written that aren't quite perfect. And the great thing about it that we found is that there's all these assessments. What you can do is take those assessments and you can copy them and change them. It's a game changer. So, for instance, if I decided I need an assessment for counting on, I can go in and I can find one that's almost perfect, just about perfect, but maybe not quite perfect, and I can hit this copy test feature here. When I do that, I can go up here and I can hit edit, and I can edit that question or any of the other questions on there. I can add a question to it if I think I need one more question. 4 is not enough. And I don't have to reinvent that assessment. It's already made. It allows me to change colors so that I can color code with all the rest of my assessments. So this is how easy it is. I just go in here and I change what is written. I put apply and I save it as a question. I can change the name of the test so it matches whatever my district wants to see. Maybe they want the standard on there. And I can change the color. I can give it in a description. And there it is in my standards now, or there it is in my tests now. So now it's available for my district even. I can share it with them, and we all have the same assessments. I didn't have to make the assessment over. I just copied it, fixed it for me, and now it's available. So it's super, super easy. Now we are not planning on doing paper pencil assessments for those math skills that we need. We have one assessment that's paper pencil, and that's writing the numbers. And other than that, we're going to use these. And I want you to be able to have these as well. So if you're here and you have your iPhone, you can either use the QR code and you can get a copy of that super simple activity I gave you. Remember, it's 4 activities in one. Or you can use the bit.ly code at the bottom, and that will get you that activity as well. And that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know.